Hello everybody, welcome back to another Hypixel Skyblock video, and I noticed that my Archer guide actually got a lot of positive feedback, and people were very, I don't know, they found it useful basically. And so I decided that I'd make a tank guide, so I may or may not have sold my entire Archer setup to get a tank setup, to try it out and tell you guys how it works. So it's going to be the same thing as the Archer setup, except slightly different. So we're going to start off with entrance floors, and then floors 1, 2, and 3. Same thing. The armor is going to be heavy armor, which is actually very good and super cheap. As you see, you get quite a lot of defense with it, so it's good for tanking stuff. And for a pet, I actually, from the research, there's really no good pet, and at this stage, with this armor, you'd probably just be getting an Enderman pet or something like that for damage. But other than that, that's basically it. And for a weapon, you would probably just use the weapon that you normally use, like an aspect of the dragons or something like that. Or you could use use a zombie soldier cutlass. 6,000 coins, super cheap, very low cata requirement, heals you for 10 hearts every time you hit something, very good, for very beginner. And now that you've made it to floor 3, you can look yet again for adaptive, I don't know how to spell anymore, adaptive armor, and you just want to use tank, because as you see it says tank, at the bottom for the ability tank. Gives you 30 defense and reduces the damage taken by 5% for each piece you have equipped if you are hit by the same monster within 10 seconds. So, it's very good, and you, I don't know, you could, I don't know if that's a thing. It isn't, nobody's put giant on adaptive, but you would like to have giant on your armor, and that's basically it. And, once you get adaptive, or if your cata level is high enough, you can get old dragon armor. 5-starred old dragon armor. So, with giant. And it's a little more expensive, but it's much better than any other armor. And if you get a maxed out pair, it works out pretty good. As you can see, you got 1,500 HP and 463 defense, and on my boots, you get almost the same, and for like a tenth of the price sometimes. So old armor is really good for tank, and pets you'd like to start looking into a blue whale. And the best part about tank is that normally, if you look at a legendary one, so some of them will have a dwarf turtle shellmet, which makes you immune to knockback. But the tank passive ability, if we look into the tank class, has a passive at the very bottom. It grants immunity to knockback, so you have absolutely no reason to have a shellmet on it. So you could start off with maybe a level 75. You don't need a shellmet because you don't take knockback, and that's very good, and eventually you'll keep upgrading it. And another armor set that you can use is Protector. Not as good as old, but it's still pretty sufficient. So, yeah, Protector definitely isn't as good as old in some parts, but you can make it work if you really. I'm just kidding. I don't really know about that. But weapons, you'll start looking at a Flower of Truth for AoE. Yeah. One of those ones, pretty cheap. Live a day of mini bosses, and yeah. And if you have the cata level, you can get a Reaper mask. Also very good for tank. A little expensive, but yeah. See, I can't use a Reaper mask because I'm not Zombie Slayer level 7, which is kinda sad, but we're gonna ignore that. And that's basically it. In your tank, all you do is basically just tank the defense, so you want to have that, which it will double your healing, so you won't die. And that's basically it. You want to run other people. And for the final one, once you have a 4/7 completion, gold or armor, very, very good. Mythic, giant, you see, it's great. The chest plate, not too bad for its price for a maxed out one right there. 42 million. Nothing bad. And a Reaper mask. High level blue whale, as you can see, I have a 96. I could have gone a level 100, but I didn't really feel like it, and it's also a mild stat increase. And that would be it for your gold door. And tanking, you can see how my inventory layout is right here. I have an aspect of the end with ultimate wise 5. Help. You want a zombie sword in case you start getting low. A Jerry Sheen gun for the crystals in floor 7. Bonzo staff for cheesing bomb defuse and like maneuverability. The stonk, obviously, amazing. Super Boom TNT if you need it, or you could have a conjure there for Super Boom TNT. I prefer Super Boom TNT. And then your main weapon. So I have the Flower of Truth for clearing, which it's okay. The main thing you do is for your ability for tank. That does a lot of damage, and that's what you want to do. So that will be basically it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope this guide helps you all out, and I'll see you in the next one.